Hello, yesterday I posted a question on our LinkedIn page to help you have conversations. Assuming that you've gone through the introduction, now you're into a point where there's a lull. What do you talk about? So my recommendation is that you ask a question, and the question I have is, what does your business do? Okay, now obviously if you're long-term business people, this doesn't work. But for someone you're newly introduced to, it's a great question. It gives a chance for them to talk about their business. But there is a chance they're going to ask you the question back. So you have to be ready to answer it yourself. So I've broken it down into a couple of different things that you should think about and be ready to speak. If you really want to be ready, practice it several times. You can either get somebody to be a first listener, or you can try doing it on your own with a phone. Nowadays with phone video recording, it's really pretty simple. So you just record yourself, you look at your performance. Was it good? Was it something you need some work with? You'll know. Okay? So here are the different questions that I think you should be able to answer. Okay? The first one is, who is your ideal customer? Okay? You have to think about this as to who is it that uses your product the most? Are you a chip maker that makes things for handphones? Are you an information provider? Are you a language school like we are? And most of our customers are housewives who come and work on their English with us so that they can live better in Singapore. Okay? Figure out who is your ideal customer. Okay? How would you describe them? What age are they? What kinds of things do they do? What is important to them? This will give the person an idea of who it is you deal with on a daily basis. Okay? What do you do for them? For example, here at ULC, we deal with a lot of housewives. We help them get used to the Singapore culture. We help them improve their English so that they're more confident when they go out into Singapore and need to use their English. Because most of them have lived overseas from us, so they've lived in Japan or China and haven't needed to use their English. They then come here and find everybody using English. Okay? So we help them get ready for life in Singapore. Okay? What problem do you solve? Okay? Here at ULC, we solve the problem of confidence. That's our core problem that we work on. Okay? Most of our students come to us because they're not confident in their English. They can't speak English well enough to feel like they're confident. Most of them, their English is actually fine, but the confidence makes their English less intelligent. So then they feel like their English isn't as good. So we help them build that confidence in a comfortable, safe environment. That's what we do. We build their confidence so that they can go out and do business, live in Singapore, communicate well with Singaporeans, Americans, Australians, and they feel happier. And that makes us feel happy. Yeah? So what problem do we solve? Who have you helped? Okay? This one can be more specific. Okay? So if you're a business, who do you do business with? Do you deal with Apple, Google, Facebook, YouTube? Who is it you do business with? Sometimes who you do business with is as important with who you buy things from. So you can also talk about who do you buy stuff from for your particular products. Okay? So the who have you helped gives a person an idea of the kind of business you do, okay? And the people you buy things from gives you an idea of what kinds of things you provide. Okay? You can also, what did you do for them? Okay? So for example, we have a customer that came to us and asked us for some extra help with doing presentations. So you can talk about the kinds of presentations that you helped them with. The typical problem we get with presentations is death by PowerPoint. And so we help the customer work through that problem of what is it your customer wants? What is it they need? And how can you bring that out into the presentation? How can you put that in a way that the person will be engaged in the presentation quickly? So that's the kind of thing we do for our customer. See how I describe the kinds of things that we do. These are the kinds of questions that you can ask somebody else and find out about their business. Then, once you found out about their business, they're probably going to ask you the same thing. And because you asked the first question, you know what answer you're going to need to provide. Okay? So this is the way that the conversation works. You ask questions, and then they ask you questions. It's kind of like a game of tennis. You bounce the ball back and forth. And the key is to keep the ball going. Not necessarily to win. The idea is to keep going with a conversation and to be comfortable in it. So if you can direct it into things that you've already asked yourself and you know how to answer, you'll be more confident when you go to speak. So hopefully this has given you some ideas of how to guide your conversations. If you have any questions about the grammar, you can check the links below to our website and our YouTube channel. Those have good grammar explanations on the YouTube side, and we also do private lessons and stuff at our school. You can look at our website for that. Thank you.